All right, so finally we're back with our weather news, and Mari has put together a few footages here. Here's tornadoes everywhere. This is in Luxembourg, 17:30 local time, August 9, 2019, causing significant damage and injuring at least 6 people. Take a look at this footage real quick if we can. Again, I can't stress this enough, folks. We really appreciate you being as bold as you are, taking the time to get this footage, but please make sure it is safely done. And this is just an example of the power of a tornado, even at an EF1. This probably looks to me like an EF2 if I had to guess. There's some more footage as well. This is in the Netherlands. The speed of this tornado, Mari, you watch this footage, I'm assuming. It reminds you of water spouts almost, or a dust devil. Just how quickly these spin-ups come across wherever it is they're tearing up. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
This particular tornado caused about 100 damage to about 100 homes.
Step up over here real quick, Mari. You just talking in the background just doesn't cut it.
I know, I was just chilling out on the couch. You know me.
The green room couch.
That tornado, very unusual. We do get rare tornadoes out in that area from time to time. That particular one caused damage to about 100 homes. It downed trees and blocked roads and damaged cars. I'm sure there's more footage now. I would have put that in the world news section, but it came out after, so
We got it late. That's all right.
I got it late. I just stuck it in. So
no problem.
Sorry about that. Surprised I forgot to tell you about that, Jake.
So, Ring of Fire weather pattern brings heat wave, and here's the setup basically into next week. Thunderstorms continuing to fire up, just like we've seen over the past couple of days here in New York, across Ohio, Kansas, Nebraska, Indiana, Illinois. Get right into it. I'll show you what we're talking about. So, bless you. Taking a look at our GFS starting tomorrow, we got scattered showers across the south and the Ohio Valley, some lingering in the northeast, but really concentrating on that line of storms in South Dakota, moving across southern Minnesota into Wisconsin, as we have another low pressure system setting up in the northwest on Sunday. More rain across Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, in the deep south, Georgia, South Carolina. You guys will definitely have scattered showers as this high pressure system begins to take its place in the U.S. Look at this. Monday, your first round of big thunderstorms. Possibly some severe weather to watch out here in Nebraska, South Dakota. Matt, watch out, bud. You might get clipped by this weather here on Monday. Showers still hanging around in the south. This is that first low pressure system. It's going to go rake across the Great Lakes into New York. Looking at some pretty heavy rain by next Tuesday of next week. As this system moves out, we've got showers from Maine all the way through the Tennessee Valley into Louisiana, Mississippi, and even parts of Georgia as well. Southern Florida also getting a part of this action. And another cool front coming down before we really get things heated up. Thunderstorms heading into North Carolina, Virginia. By Thursday, that is off to the East Coast. Another line of storms firing up again back to the west and the northern plains, another Great Lakes system. And as we go through Saturday, next week's kind of lame. And then it fires up on Sunday, August 18th. That's the 18th. So according to the Weather Channel, we're supposed to watch this ring of thunderstorms that are going to be rotating around this heated up area. And right here, GFS is showing a sudden development of a storm here on Sunday, August 18th. Interesting look. This storm suddenly gains a little bit and kind of just leaves the coast by the 19th. But behind it, this other little low pressure system is creating quite a bit of a ruckus here across South Dakota, Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa once again, Wisconsin, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky. light showers back into the northeast as this low pressure is moving away from the east coast. Another big low pressure system is settling across the Ohio Valley and moving into the mid-Atlantic states. More so West Virginia, North Carolina will see the bulk of this rain. Parts of Mississippi and Arkansas also looking to get a little bit of action from this. And it just seems like the atmosphere continues to reload. And this week and next week, it looks like the story is going to be in the south and the southeast as far as heavy rains. Different times, Nebraska and South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, you'll see your share as heavy rain as well. And then we're going to point our focus back into the Gulf. Now, the last broadcast, when we were looking at the GFS, we talked about this little system that looked like it was going to develop more closer to the Houston area. Well, now GFS has a different idea on where this storm could be. Now, I want to talk to you guys. Just a couple of weeks ago, we showed you the worst case scenario of a particular hurricane that we thought originally, according to the 0-0, was going to stay here for a couple of days and then make its way up the coast. Now, right now, the pressure forecasted, not a big deal, guys. Not a big deal for now. I will say, at this time, if this storm in the Gulf, now right here, it doesn't look like it's a hurricane, probably a tropical depression, still a tropical storm here, maybe slight Cat 1 strength. It still could be just a tropical storm as it goes across Florida. And then the thinking is now that it could be a Cat 1 on the eastern side of Florida by August 24th. Now, this storm is projected, and this model usually is the best case scenario. Normally, the GFS doesn't overdo it on this particular model run, is what I'm saying. So interesting to see that this hurricane that we saw 2 weeks ago in the 0-0F forecast models to make its way up the East Coast. And right now, this storm is hugging the East Coast. But the good news is that it doesn't appear to be anything more serious than a Cat 1 at this time. Again, this is very early. This is the first time I've seen this on the run. Now let's take a look at the 0-0. And usually the worst case scenario, they don't really have much going on here. They have this storm appearing a little earlier, but not making its way through the Gulf, more or less forming just like we saw 2 weeks ago, but not quite spending as much time near Florida. But this is almost the exact model run of the first time we talked to you guys about this storm. Not quite as big, though, going across the East Coast. So we got one model that's saying that, we might have problems with this. Another model is taking it a little further away from the East Coast, not even forming in the Gulf. Again, this storm, according to this model run, guys, and let me go back to the 18Z. According to this model run, this storm is going to start in the Gulf. Here it is. I'm going to point it out. Right down here. See the tip of my arrow. Let me move this forward a little bit. This thing makes entry into the Gulf, kind of tries to make up its mind what it wants to do, according to this model run now. And here's where we see that ring of thunderstorm fire, if you want to call it that. That's what Weather Channel is trying to say. But interesting enough, we got one storm up here in the East Coast that looks like it could be a tropical depression. Definitely going to be a storm of some sort. We don't know what yet. Last week, when we talked about this possibility, this low pressure was here, and this low pressure was here. Now the models have shifted it over east. But the worst part about it is that this storm is going to make landfall, go across Florida, and then rake the entire East Coast. Boy, I bet, let me guess, there's high pressure in Greenland. Hot dog. So, as I kind of suspected, the way this storm is moving, okay, there is a bit of a high pressure block in Greenland. And a lot of times when we see these high pressure blocks, these Greenland blocks, especially in the wintertime, we tend to see these nor'easters that hug the coast. And looking at this, we have clear evidence that there is a good chance that we could see some blocking here. And this storm could indeed rake the coast here on the East Coast. Again, this is about 2 weeks out. It's still early to talk about, but this did appear on the radar about 10 days ago when we came on the air and talked about the potential of the storm. Also want to mention that the forecast for snow in the Alberta and BC area is back on the 17th. And then I think once again towards the end of August, some slight chance. Nope. So it's moved back. We originally thought the 21st, but now it's looking more like the 16th and the 17th. Still, a lot to happen for this storm to be dangerous. There's a lot of unknowns right now. We will continue to monitor it the best we can. And right now, I think it's just a matter of, it's just good to be aware. You know, I kind of believe the GFS has this high pressure system not centered the way the Weather Channel is saying this high pressure system is supposed to be settled up next week for this temperature increase. Let's go ahead and take a look at temps real quick. I don't see the match. I could be wrong. This weekend, beautiful weather here across the Northeast, guys. It's not even going to feel like summer out here. 72 degrees in the capital region. Other areas will be in the upper 50s. Thor, let me know, big guy. Let me know. 54 degrees possible in your neck of the woods for a daytime high on Saturday, Dog Day, August 10th. Yeah. The heat's going to stay in the Southeast and Florida and Texas. No doubt. Mid 80s and lower 90s in Oklahoma, in Kansas and Nebraska. Upper 80s for areas like McCook, Nebraska, southern part of Nebraska. But once you get in the middle of the state and up, middle 80s, lower 70s, there's a spot of 63 degrees in Minnesota, 69 in Iowa, mid 70s. I mean, just gorgeous weather everywhere across the Midwest and the Northeast, guys. Nighttime lows, the windows will be open, the AC will be off. It's going to feel awesome out here. Midwest and Ohio. Heat staying to the south, Northwest getting a little cool. Daytime highs for Monday, starting the next work week. There's your heat down in the south. Racing across Arkansas and Missouri as well, trying to reach the Ohio Valley and Pennsylvania. That heat in the south stays in the south, that high pressure system. So here's where the Weather Channel thinks we're going to have all this heat with this high pressure dome, and it's only going to last for a couple of days. But look at the daytime highs here as we go through August, getting close to the end of the month. Starting to get back to normal summer weather here. Around the 19th of August, it gets a little bit more warmer, but still parts of them. Look, Northern Plains, Wisconsin, 63 degrees for your daytime high on August 20th. That's, 10 days away? There's spots in Oregon and Washington. Look at this. 41 degrees for a daytime high. Again, sporadic 60s and 70s come back for the 20th. So we get a little bit of a warm-up from the 16th through the 20th, and then temperatures kind of drop back down again in the Midwest, the Northern Plains, the Northeast. Heat staying in Texas, Oklahoma, and the South, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida. Can't forget you folks out there in Arizona as well, parts of New Mexico. Look at that. August 21st. I mean, this looks insane as far as high temperatures to me for August 21st. All the heat is just directed in Texas and Oklahoma. Shout out to a friend down there who said today the temperature was 200 degrees. I'm sure it wasn't that high, but the temperature I saw you do on the ground was over 130 degrees. I can't imagine standing in a 130 degree parking lot. It was hot enough for sure. So it might have felt like 200 degrees today for sure. If you're getting a temperature on the parking lot of 130, folks, it's hot. But that's also in Dallas, Texas, in the Dallas, Texas area. We'll continue to see this heat over the next 10 to 15 days. That's not going to stop. Texas is definitely the hot spot, no doubt, for the next several days, if almost weeks right now. In fact, all that heat that we're not getting in the rest of the United States is going to be made up for in Texas. But look at this, guys. Daytime highs by August 25th. The Rockies and Wyoming, we're already starting to see the 50s. The upper elevations are already starting to cool off. Are we going to see snow in September in these areas? Is it possible? Or am I just being ridiculous? I could be being ridiculous, but still. Some strange temperature patterns here for the month of August. Not just here in the Northeast, the Northwest, the Northern Plains, other spots. I mean, you know, we'll continue to watch this, folks. Grand solar minimum, right? All right, Mari, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. You got anything you'd like to add before we sign off this crazy broadcast we've had tonight, especially in the beginning?
Crazy.
I think YouTube lost its mind when they heard your angelic voice.
They're like,
speaking.
no, Mari, don't do it. Don't give the world
They
news.
know now that Mari's speaking.
Don't tell everyone.
The world will listen.
I don't know, Jake. I'm going to assess the situation when we go off air and see what in the world happened. Anyway, it will be remedied, and if you need to go back and re-listen to it, it'll be available in its untouched form, I promise. I would like to give shout-outs. We have all kinds of mods here tonight. I'm just so surprised to see everyone here. But then again, it's Friday night, isn't it, Jake?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd like to thank Daniel. I'm thanking the super chatters first. I'd like to thank Daniel, Matt Bros, Julian Lamp, Tugta says, we will watch even if it's glitched or blurred. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Julian Lamp said, I've learned of your channel a couple months ago. I wondered if you had any insight to the 7.1 earthquake in Alaska on November 30th. You know what? It's so long ago, I'd have to look back to recall.
Yeah.
So,
and that's unfair because there's so many earthquakes.
Leave a comment on this video, and then when I have a chance, I will get back to you on it. Hewley did a superhero sticker and says he really appreciates what we do here on the channel. Soul Quest representing the 216. Thank you very much. And Daniel, again, with another super chat. Thank you guys very, very much.
Hey, Soul Quest, they looked pretty good last night, didn't they, big guy? All right, go ahead.
Cleveland Brown. You were such
He knows. We don't have to talk.
Okay.
Me and Soul Quest, we got that thing. That's right. We know what we're talking about. Shake and bake.
And then Zenith said, I think you're being throttled. The video was coming out clear on their phone, but the computer was all low res, and they think we're being throttled. It's, you know, the views, we'll post a video, it'll go hours without getting a comment.
Yep.
Maybe it'll get 100 views. I mean, we have tens of thousands of subscribers. Something's up.
Yeah, we went from averaging 6,000 to 7,000 views a day to we're lucky to see 1,000 views.
Oh, it's like it goes
weird.
down and down and down.
Something happened.
Somebody flipped the switch on us, and
not just us, but other channels that speak on topics similar to this are getting affected by this too.
It's so bad, and our videos are being ranked as low as 76% lower performing than normal. I mean, 76% below normal. That's what we're looking at. It's awful. So a lot of people have recommended other platforms, and I am tweeting and Facebooking where those are. I'm actually afraid to even say the names of these.
We're not going to in the broadcast.
Because it's like they'll penalize us even more for mentioning it.
We'll communicate to you folks on other platforms to let you know what's happening.
I'm posting links around. We are branching out to, more outlets. Let's just say that. And that's all I got right now. I'm not in the chat, so I can't see what people are. Thank
you, Mari. Appreciate what you do as always. And again, on Monday, when we do our live broadcast once again, we hopefully will have what we were intending to show you guys was our news segment of the world news. We felt like that Mari does a great job. She has a great voice. And I wanted to utilize her a little bit more for our live broadcast to help make these shows a little more enjoyable. And, you know, honestly, the video footage with her reporting, we see the videos that she does for Grand Solar Minimum. So this was not really a surprise that she could do this, but I think it's going to help with the experience of watching this program 3 times a week. Plus our Monday through Friday solar updates. Who knows, I might feel good enough for this weekend to continue to do those Sunday through Sunday. So we'll see what happens. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Please like and share and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and make sure you click on the all personal, not the personalized ones, but the all notifications once you click on the bell. And folks, follow us at Facebook, Patreon, Twitter, you name it. You can probably find us on every social media platform at this time. Don't forget to visit us at thegrandsolarminimum.com. Until next time, guys, we will talk soon. Take care.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.